Hey there everyone, and welcome to the next tutorial here on the channel. Last time lapse I actually made a chopstick holder, and I'm actually going to be filming a tutorial on how to make it in this video. So I have two pairs of chopsticks, two chopstick rests, and I'm going to be using two different colors of duct tape. I'm going to be using the circle tape for kind of the main part of the holder, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the orange tape to kind of give it a little bit of highlights in between. So let's get started here on the duct tape chopstick holder tutorial. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is kind of measure the chopsticks that you're making the holder for. Now, most of them kind of have a universal size of around 9 inches or so, unless you're using kind of like ones for kids and everything. So I cut out 4 strips of tape that are 9.5 inches long, and I'm going to simply make a small rectangular piece of tape, which is going to serve as the kind of the background for it here. Almost like a small piece of duct tape fabric, and then I'm going to make 2 of them and then combine them together. So I got my first 2, stick them together just like that. I'm going to take my third one, and I'm going to apply it overlapping a little bit so we have a decent amount of overlap, but also big enough to hold 2 pairs of chopsticks going this way, of course. So overlapped by, I would say, about a ½ inch, I guess. I'll take my fourth one, going to cover up the rest of the sticky side, of course. Then I'm going to take 4 more strips and duplicate this exact sheet that I just made. So now we have my 2 pieces. I'm going to take one of them and put it aside, and then we're going to switch to the highlighting color on the inside, which will be the orange tape. Well, basically what we're going to do is make one small flap to begin with, and we're going to use this to really just kind of seal everything in. So what you want to do is cut out kind of a square on each side of the piece here. You want to go in about a little bit, about ½ inch or so, directly in the middle of the strip, and then go straight down. So I have those 2 squares kind of cut out from there. Then what you do is you take this piece, take the part that's smaller, and then you're going to fold that back around on itself like that. And this is just a really easy way, because now you have, no sticky side here, but you have 2 spots to connect on the sides. So I'm going to take my pair of chopsticks, and I'm going to align them right here in the center, and I'm going to just put those on right about there. So stick those down, and then of course I can just wrap these around the back. So there's our first one. You're going to need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to need about 5 more of those. So you can start making those right now, and then we're going to use those all in connecting all these together. So here I have my other 5, and we're very quickly going to stick all these into the piece here. So the next one goes all the way on the bottom, just like that. And you want to make sure the chopsticks are all the way to the bottom here. And then this piece is simply going to go the opposite way. It's going to go vertically, and this is going to keep the chopsticks from falling out, of course. You can wrap that all the way around to the back. Stick that down. Next thing we're going to do is simply repeat this process right next to it for our second pair of chopsticks. If you make them the same size, they can kind of just go right into each other on the top here. That's one of the benefits of cutting them the same size. Wrap around to the back. Once again, make sure the chopsticks are lined up. Same deal here with everything lining up. And I'll wrap around to the back. And then this one, of course, will go vertically just like the last one. Make sure they're stuck in there, all the way to the bottom, and then all the way to the back. And there we have it. So now we're going to bring out my other piece, and we're going to use that for the rests. Now in my original time lapse, I kind of just made a small, kind of almost like a credit card pocket here on the bottom, and that was where I tucked the rests into. But since going with this entire theme of using these clips, I'm going to use those as my way of kind of attaching all of these here. So my first one is kind of a glass fish, which is really cool. Use this one quite often. And I'm going to attach that there just like this. It's shaped perfectly so it can slide right in. Then I'm going to take this piece and just going to do it vertically once again. And you want to make sure, these are kind of the breakable things, so you want to make sure that these will fit in, that they won't fall out, especially if you're kind of throwing this around, which I wouldn't recommend. And then this one's kind of shaped like a futon. And then we're going to kind of just use the exact same method here. Obviously this one's a lot smaller. So we're going to attach that there, and once again double all the way around, make sure it's lined up, And this one might need a little bit of reinforcement on the sides just because it's a lot smaller. But most chopstick rests are, okay, they vary in size, but most of them are about that size right there. This one's a little bit on the thinner side. But that'll work with a little bit of just taping it down on the sides, and then that'll work. Now, of course, we need to attach the two pieces together. So I have one single strip. That's, of course, the length of these. I'm going to do it the easy way. Just line them up on top. Sure the chopsticks are in. You want to leave just a little bit of a gap, not too much so you can't see a lot of the sticky side, but you want it to be able to flex just a little bit, and eventually that'll lose its stick once it gets a little bit of dust and stuff in it, so that'll prevent it from getting stuck to anything. So now we have that. I'm going to slip the chopstick rests both back in. And now what we want to do is we want to put a little bit of a Velcro piece on it. So what I'm going to do is I took another strip, cut out a square on just on one part, and you guys saw this in the time lapse. I'm going to fold it over like that, stick the part with the sticky part on there, and wrap it around, and that's exactly where the Velcro would go, and that would just go around right just like that and kind of seal the entire thing in. Alright, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this tutorial on how to make a duct tape chopstick holder. I hope you guys liked it. It's really cool because you can kind of modify it any way you want. You can use a whole bunch of different color duct tape to make it. I used a dragon tape, the discontinued dragon tape in the other one, which was really cool. But there's a whole bunch of other cool kind of patterns that are really neat to use. The circle one is one of my favorite because it has that really neat kind of distortion feel to it, almost like an optical illusion. So that worked really well for this, but you can use any kind you want. You can modify it to hold as many chopsticks or rests as you want, or anything else for that matter. So hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, I'll catch you next time on the channel for more videos coming soon. Take care.